time to read these patch notes, see what's going on with Stadium, and go from there. Okay, so there is a patch for Stadium as of, pretty today, right? So, oh, that's a different one. Okay, so here you go. Here's the Stadium updates. Countermeasure, this is for Diva. Oh, wait, let me read the developer comments first. They say Diva has been struggling in matchups against beam-focused heroes like Zarya, where her defensive tools feel less effective. We're adding some synergy with defense matrix power / items when using it to mitigate beam damage. We're also adding some power to some of the builds that utilize her main defensive tool, defense matrix, in hopes to allow them to have a bit more flexibility and apply some pressure in team fights. Chat, we got Diva buffs. So the countermeasures power decrease mitigation requirement to 100 down from 150. That's really good. Because now, it's pretty simple. It used to be you have to, absorb 150 damage. Mastermind's Mitigator. Rare ability hero item. Decreased damage mitigation requirement to 200, down from 300. So a lot of it's just, making it so you have to absorb less damage to get value. This is actually really good. Stat Boost. Increased defense matrix recovery rate to 125. That's very good. Ultra Wide Matrix. Defense matrix duration increased to 25%. That's also good. Multitask Mod. Increased the weapon power to 20%. Pulse Plating. Increased ultimate charge gain to 10%, and plot armor, rare survival hero item, damage reduced now gets counted as damage mitigated by defense matrix. Straight up, chat, this is just all buffs for Diva. There's nothing more. Diva's getting buffs everywhere. This enables a lot of builds. Dylan's putting smiles there. Okay, so that's Diva. Diva's buff. Junker Queen. Developer comments. Junker Queen thrives when she can close the distance and brawl up close, and her current mobility has been, allowing her to engage too freely. We're toning down her gap closing potential to make her position more deliberate. Oh no! And reduce her ability to aggressively dive into enemy lines without consequence. This should encourage more thoughtful engagements while preserving her core bruiser identity. Okay, so Boom and Voice reduced ability power to 15%. That's fair. I can see that one. 25% felt very, very strong for that one. I can see that one. Slice and Spree. The reduced movement stat to 5%, down from 10. Removes move speed while near an enemy with a wound to 5%. And increase attack speed while near an enemy with a wound to 10%. So, want me to be honest with you? Queen's going to be fine. You don't. The Slice and Spree is good. You don't need it. And you can still build around it. I actually spent a lot of the time not even using Slice and Spree. This is a fine change. Junker Queen will be fine. Reinhardt. Developer comment says Reinhardt has been overperforming, especially at lower levels. I don't know what the stats are at higher levels, but Rein's dominating. We're tuning down some of the powers that are most difficult to counterplay, such as melee Reinhardt feeling inescapable due to a crazy amount of speed, or being one-shot by an impact burst fire strike. As an important known issue with this balance change, the move speed per stack is currently not represented correctly on the tooltip, but it is functionally set to 2%. This will be fixed in the future update. So, impact power reduced bonus damage to 15%. Smash and power reduced movement stack to 2%. It should help with Rein. I don't know how the build will feel. I still think Rein will be good, but I also want to give it time. Sometimes you see numbers, you're like, oh, it's going to be great, and then other times, yeah, so. Okay, cool. So now we have Zarya. Zarya continues to be overperforming, not expected, especially at higher levels of play. We're reducing some of the survivability of weapon power Zarya builds so that she should be more vulnerable, especially if she is often to itemize full damage. Life lift power, reduce particle barrier health scaling to 25% of your bonus max life, down from 50%. And pre-workout power, reduce life steal, down from 20%. So there you go. So Zarya got nerfed. I think Zarya will still be pretty good, but Diva's going to be better. Zarya's a little bit worse. So I like these changes so far. Again, I think some of the builds will still be fine. All right, so only one DPS buff. Or I don't know if it's buff or nerf, but Ashe. Ashe has strong potential in the hands of experienced players, but parts of her kit have been falling off in the later stages of the game compared to other heroes. We're making targeted adjustments to help her scale more effectively into the late game, while also smoothing out some of the sharp edges that make her less forgiving for newer players. These changes aim to make Ashe a more rewarding pick across all skill levels. Here we go. So, and sorry, I'm just getting everything set for the sponsor stuff. Head honcho power, increased damage, increase per unscoped shot landed to 5%, up from 3%. Bob Jr., reduced attack speed reduction to 20%. Wow, that's a surprise. I called him Baby Billy earlier. Infrared lenses, epic ability hero item. Fixed an issue where the increased damage against burning targets were only applying to the Viper and Bob. Now increases all damage dealt by Ashe to burning targets. That's pretty good. And reduced increased damage to burning targets down to 20%, or to 20% down from 25%. So, it looks like they put some changes into Ashe. Ashe needed it. So, you found me on the Xena. Oh, with Anton? Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, he's, I He was trying to figure out how to give me a Discord thing, so I was like, yeah, dude, I have no idea. All right, Lucio. Lucio's ability power healing builds if it continues to give too much healing output. No! For how accessible and consistent they are, and have been overperforming at all levels of play. We're turning down the healing output here because of how consistently effective it is. Oh, man! Lucio's weapon power builds have mostly been crowded out by ability power builds in both output and consistency. We're adding a bit more power here to encourage some build variety. My boop heal! All right, crowd pleaser is now 100% instead of 150. Still pretty good, but definitely a huge nerf from 200%. We're going to do share chat, by the way, crap, and I figured that would work out with him and I, so that way because you have him on in both. Let's bounce power, reduce wall slam damage down to 25, and reduce knockbacks down 25%. Yeah, that one was okay. Sonic boom power, increased healing to 30% of damage dealt, up from 20%. Fast forward power, increased damage to 30%. Number 1 single rare ability hero item, reduced ability power to 5%. And all out auditiva, that's the one where you get like the increased duration, 25% and 15% now, so they got nerfed there. So a little bit of a nerf for Lucio. Lucio should be fine, but I think the heal bot one where you just boop is going to get a little bit worse. But I will test it out to see if it's still good. And then the last change we have, oh, actually, no, there's 2 more. Moira, precarious potency power, increased healing to 25%, up from 20, so more healing. And then Destruction's divide power, increased coalescence effectiveness, up from 25% to 30%. So just a straight up buff to a couple of Moira's powers. And it says we're adding some small buffs to some of the less popular powers in hopes to better enable some new build paths. So just trying to get better builds. So there you go. So those are the changes. Pretty good changes, actually. I'm very curious to see where they go. Hopefully, this is the step in this is a step in the right direction. And I'm happy to see it. We'll see how all the heroes feel, and we'll test out some of those builds. And then general items. Booster jets, the epic weapon item, reduced movement speed when using an ability 10%. That's actually a nerf to the melee build. And then Nebula Conduit, reduced the weapon power to 5% down from 10. So a couple of good changes there. They say Nebula Conduit has been too efficient of a purchase given the strength of its effect. We're reducing some of the weapon power to put more focus on its niche and less of an obvious choice in weapon-focused builds. Booster jets was too easy, enabling builds that benefit from move speed, especially for a certain tank that swings a large hammer. Generally, we're going to look at peeling back from some of the move speed increases that we felt we went a bit too far. Which could be fair. We're hoping that will help out our less mobile heroes feel like they have a better chance in Stadium, which is fair. That has been an issue where, like, when you get ran on, you can't do anything. But yeah, overall, step in the right direction. I've been having a blast playing Stadium, so we'll see where it goes. And that's your patch notes. So if you're watching this on the YouTube video we're going to have out, like the video, subscribe, watch the next video if you like my stuff. Little box here. Hope you all have an amazing day / night.